What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 3 of the Chicago Blackhawks Dynasty Rebuild. And let's just say our team's not in a good spot, which really sucks, obviously. But it's got to be a rebuild, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do the trade block here in a second. We're gonna get this all situated, and we're gonna change this up a bit. And then we'll get on into the rest of the season. We're going to get up to the trade deadline and hopefully kind of trade away some guys that could potentially give us some prospects, some different players to bring back and, rebuild our team, essentially. So we ended up throwing up Brent Seabrook on the trade block just to see if we can get rid of him. Because, personally, if we can get rid of, those big contracts of players that aren't really doing much of anything, I feel like it would benefit us more than it would hurt us. So we're gonna move on into the rest of the season here. We're gonna get up to the trade deadline, hopefully, and see if any trades come through, and kind of see how our team's doing, what we could trade away to possibly get back picks and or prospects. So trade deadline, we got 2 months away. We will stop at the 23rd. We'll get through the trade deadline today, and then we'll finish the season up next time. But what can our team do? I mean, we're just struggling all around, whether it's goaltending, forwards, there's lines not playing well together, just players individually not playing well together. Our defensive core isn't that great, and we're just kind of sucking. So whatever it is that we need to do to make our team win is whatever we need to do to make our team win, basically. But Central Scouting, let's let that go through. Ruda for a second to Winnipeg. So that 2019 is this year. We do need a second-round pick this year. And they want also a 4th from next year. So do we have another 4th for next year? I guess that's the first question. Let's go to draft picks. So we have 2 for this year. What about next year? So we only have 1 next year. But a 4th-round pick is something we can easily get, whether it's through a prospect or if we trade one of the 4ths this year for next year or whatever. I'm not really too worried about that. The second-round pick definitely helps us this year. Looks like Winnipeg wants to make a run this year, or is looking like they're going to be making a run. And looks like Ruda is going to help them do that. So looks like he's going to fit in running the NHL team there. I mean, they got a couple of guys that he's got to play over or whatever. But, this seems like a decent trade all-around second-round pick for Ruda, who's been playing the AHL, and an extra 4th. Not a big fan of getting rid of the 4th, but can we take this off and they accept it? No. So, what if we threw in like a 5th or something instead of that 4th? What about, we have a lot of extra 5ths. Let's give them back their 5th from this year, because it's going to be a later round pick anyway. What about that? So, okay, so they still don't want to get rid of that, so I guess we'll have to do the 4th. Let's just do it from this year. Let's go with Boston, because I think they're doing actually good this year. And that should go through. There we go. So, trade accepted. Ruda is now gone. I'm going to put the lines back together in the AHL, and then we'll move on and see if we get any more trade offers. All right, back into the simulation here, and our team's actually performing better than I'd like them to, honestly. And, okay, so Cam Ward is the next on the trade block, I guess. He's not personally on there, but pending UFAs are. So, what would this do to our team? So, it'd be Ward in the 3rd for a 2nd and a 5th. So, we don't have to trade him, but he is a pending UFA, which definitely would help us. What could we do? Could we go down here? So, alright, so by this time, our team should be back up to normal. So, if we throw in a 3rd from down there, in exchange for that 5th and what they were offering. So would they do that? So it'd be a year later than they asked for. Yeah, let's try this. So they do that. Alright, so I will accept the trade here in a second, but just to review, Cam Ward and a 3rd round pick a couple years down the line for next year's 2nd and a 5th round pick from next year. We need that 2nd round pick. Definitely, we have someone we can put in the NHL to replace Cam Ward. And, obviously the picks are all whatever. But, yeah, I mean, if we can get to players like that, I mean, I'm not really too keen on getting rid of our picks, but you know what? It'll help us. And plus, Forsberg has been playing really well down in the AHL. So, you know, hey, he deserves a spot up here anyway, as it is. You know, he's definitely the one performing down there. The only thing is now we're stuck with 2 goaltenders down there. So, what I'm going to look for is a free agent goaltender that's just a free agent. And just sign him for down there. Maybe someone for the future if there is somebody. And see what there is there. Either that or we're possibly going to look for a trade for a prospect goalie. But most likely just free agency. And besides that, that's what we're going to do right now. But we'll move on to the simulation once we get back. So we ended up signing an AHL goaltender. Just a 23 or 24-year-old guy. Just to play down there. Nothing really too special there. But for the rest of our team, we threw a couple other guys on our trade block. And, you know, just to see what was going to go on here. So, another trade comes in, and immediately I'm thinking about just declining it because Forsberg is our only kind of goaltender left besides Crawford. So, as much as the picks are nice, I don't really want to get rid of Forsberg right now, as much as I would definitely love that second-round pick. So, we're just going to deny that straight up and keep moving on up until the trade deadline here. But our team is actually performing better than they should be right now. Like, our team's sucking. We've been getting rid of some players. And now all of a sudden they want to win games. It just doesn't make sense. So, ooh. So, Seabrook was one of the players we threw up on the trade block. And I actually had to re-record this video because the recording messed up. It got, it just, whatever. It got messed up. So, I had to redo this. And we actually got an offer from Florida before for Seabrook. But this time, they're willing to give us a first-round pick for Seabrook, along with 2/3 given up by us. Although I would love to have this year's first-round pick, because I believe we have ours, and then no, we don't have another one. But I would love to have this year's first-round pick, but it looks like next year's has a little bit more trade value on theirs. And then both third-round picks for next year. I'm not a big fan of that. So I kind of want to spread it out, but we just traded our third-round pick away. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade them New Jersey's third-round pick. And then I'm going to go down here a couple years down the line and use one of those third-round picks. Because I don't want to give up in the same draft. That just doesn't really make sense to me. But Seabrook, I said this before. But as much as I'd love to keep him, he is declining as far as his overall skill. He's still making a crap ton of money, and his 6-year contract is going to take him until he's 39, 40, and by that time he won't be very good. So that $6 million we could definitely use for something else, especially down the road. And plus with a first-round pick coming in next year, next year's the year of, I'm going to say it wrong, but is it Lafreniere or something like that? The good left-handed, or left winger I think he is. That eventually gets really good. So, although I'm not really too keen on getting rid of 2 third-round picks for this, I definitely want that third-round pick for next year. Now, hopefully Florida sucks next year, and it's a high pick, but we'll have 2 first-round picks next year, so we might be able to go for like a 2-for-1, potentially get that top pick for Lafreniere, or whatever you pronounce his at. But, like I said, I don't really like getting rid of those 2 third-round picks, but it's a first-round pick. Let's get it. And we're going to bring up Jokiharju and slot him into Seabrook's spot, and then we'll continue on with the simulation. Everyone's slotted back into the correct lineups now. Lines are all fixed, and we're continuing on here. So I really hope we just go on a massive losing streak, because we need to lose some more games so we can get a better pick. But once again, as much as I'd love a second-round pick, I don't really want to give up a third and my backup goalie right now, because then I have to go sign another one. But, you know, can we stop winning games, team? Stop winning games so we can have a good pick, please. I mean, obviously I don't want to trade away Crawford because, you know, he'd be a good goalie if we ever decide to turn the ship around. But we're actually kind of getting towards 500 as far as that goes. But let's go double check. I guess some stats, see what's going on as far as that goes. And it looks like we've caught up, unfortunately, to some other teams. But it still does look we're in like the bottom 10 of the league. So whatever our team is doing right now that's good, we need to stop that so we can get a better pick. Because this year, I don't remember who the top picks are, but we need to get a good pick this year. So Kane still performing at the top. Everyone's kind of doing what they were doing before. Kind of want to get rid of like a Kunitz type player, just to kind of get younger, bring up a younger guy from Rockford, and just see what happens, because we need to stop performing, basically. So let's continue on here. Let's hope for like a trade for like Kunitz or some. Okay, this is live, by the way. So Kunitz for a 4th. So I think these guys sent us the same trade in the previous video that I tried to record, and they didn't want to. I didn't really want to give her a 5th for them. So same thing. I'm gonna try to get a 5th round pick, and last time they did it, so hopefully they're gonna do it this time as well. But this time it's going to have to be a year later. So that should go through. There we go. We're going to call up Camp, put him in the lineup, fix the lines in both NHL and AHL, and then see if any other trades come through. Once again, lines are fixed, and hopefully we can get something else upcoming here. So we already did the trade block. Don't need to do that again. Nothing the day before. What about the day of? Nothing the day of. Last chance for trades. And nothing. So overall wise, we sit in 27th in the league, and power play, penalty kill, not really doing too great. But you know what? For whatever reason, our team just started performing as of late. But hopefully we can get a top 5 pick. I mean, that's kind of the goal every year, is to get that top 5 pick. If it's not in the top 5 and there's nothing we really want, I might end up trading it for a pick next year, with hopefully the chance of getting Lafreniere, because he's definitely worth it. Left wing, would play alongside of Taves, Kane, whoever up there, and he'd probably perform. So, you know, that's kind of the goal right now. I mean, we are bottom 5 in the league, like I said. But that's where I'm going to wrap this one up for today's video. Trade deadline's passed now, so we can't make any more trades. We can sign some prospects if we really want to. I don't really know how many we have down unsigned, but we will take a look at that. If there is some we can sign, I might end up just signing them if we're definitely going to want them next year, and see if they get in the lineup this year, depending on performance, and if we have some spots down the end in the AHL. But like I said, guys, this is where I'm going to end today's video. If you guys did enjoy, hit the like button down below. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button, and as always, guys, we'll see you next time.